So, good morning, good afternoon, whichever it might be for anybody. I believe there's another bloom starting to open on my plants. And today I wanted to kind of focus still on generosity. This is from a reading from the Old Testament, Ruth, chapter 2, verse 12. God generously provides protection to the foreigner and the widow. The book of Ruth is a bridge between two major parts of Israel's covenant history. It was written to defend David's right to be king, and David was a great-grandson of a Moabite named Ruth. The people of Moab didn't help the Israelites when they came out of Egypt. The law didn't permit any descendant to join Israel down to the 10th generation. If they couldn't even join the community, how could one of them serve as king? So, chapter 2 starts out talking about it. Naomi had a relative on her husband's side, a man of standing from the clan of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. So, chapter 12, or verse 12, there's a conversation between Boaz and Ruth. Verse 12, may the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. So basically, it's talking about, yeah, this was kind of weird, because you'd have to kind of read the whole thing. So this is interesting. So Naomi is a sister-in-law related to Ruth, and so they basically were foreigners, because according to this law, David couldn't be a king because he wasn't. Because it's down through the 10th generation, they couldn't join Israel, and so that's where it's coming up, the protection of the foreigner. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. I guess that's referring to what Ruth has done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. I mean, yeah, you have to really read chapter 2, and apparently right before that in chapter 1, Naomi wanted to be called Mara. Naomi means pleasant, but Mara means bitter. I went away full, the Lord has brought me back empty. And so she didn't, so she's related to Ruth, the daughter-in-law. So there's basically dialogue between the different people in this, so you'd have to read more of Ruth. Yeah, I probably picked a kind of obscure one today, but anyway, I'm going to try to be a lot more prepared the next time, and I have another video I wanted to do. It's basically just like a general relaxation one. Nothing too crazy, I guess. But I'll see if I can do that. I'm kind of in the middle of things right now. Oops, sorry about that. But yeah, I'll see. I may not continue with the generosity one, but I might do a few more books. So I will see what I can do. And I know it was a pretty short verse, but Yeah, what this thing should have done is they should have mentioned verse 11, because apparently Naomi had lost her husband. She left her homeland, so she was basically a foreigner. And, oh, okay, so let me see. Boaz was speaking to Ruth. But sorry for the silence. I was just kind of thinking here. So, okay, yeah. So my understanding was a little bit wrong. Ruth had left her homeland, lost a husband apparently, um, and she's come from a different land. So that's what Boaz is giving her this blessing of, may the Lord repay Ruth for what she has done. Um, and Boaz basically told all his men and his people, to his workers or whatever, to stay away from Ruth. So Ruth also shows how God's purposes are accomplished in the world. Um, they talk about, the book of Ruth talks about God's providence over events and the personal kindness of people. And then it basically ends in redemption. So it's just a little message of hope. Anyway, I will be much more organized this next video that I do for my Sunday series. Thanks for tuning in, and God bless.